I was going to be nice, but I was running late this morning and I thought the hell with being nice. Dear bronze sexuals, nah, 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 nah. Let's go.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up? Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh, yeah! Ah, dang it. This is why we're working out all the kinks before we launch season 11 in the fall. Okay, I got to bring up my soundboard before I even greet the folks. This morning, I'm going to ask a very obvious question. Mr. Shane, why do you have such a eating grin on your face? Could it be because your beloved Boston Celtics claimed number 18 last night in very dominant fashion?
This is what you call the Jeremy Clarkson smug look. And yes, I'm going to be wearing it for a while. LeBron fans, get used to it.
I hope you wear it forever, man. Now with that out of the way, good morning. Welcome to the Championship Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. Vicala's on the way. Shane is with us. Arrow, man, we got a full lineup today. Jason Ticanio at 10:30. Top of the second hour has Arrow Marks, and the bottom of the second hour has one of our favorite guests, Allison Moran, the token female. So y'all are going to see me looking over here to my monitor here to my left because I'm going to be working on stuff the entire time. And I will make a programming note, and it goes like this. Friday's show will be at 8 a.m. as I have to leave for South Bend, Indiana. So, and I'll be gone for the weekend.
Both of us be road tripping this weekend, brother.
Yeah, you're going to I'm
going to New Hampshire.
You're going to New Hampshire. That's right. You're going to New Hampshire.
I got VIP hookup, so I'm going to be out my door around 7 o'clock Saturday morning to hit the track by 10.
Well, as for me, Saturday is a very significant day for me because it is my beautiful wife's birthday.
Hey, my love for her.
We are going to bleeping celebrate.
Looks like we're going to be sending a lot of pictures in the group chat. Sorry, boys.
Damn right. Damn right. A chance to go road tripping with my honey for the weekend? Hell yeah, I'll take it.
Me in the garage and on pit road in New Hampshire? Yes, please. Give me all of that and then some.
Well, why don't we do
the obvious
what we came here to do? Because as I mentioned, we got Jason DeCanio as we go from the stretch at the bottom of the hour, Arrow Marks at the top of hour 2, and Allison Moran at the bottom of hour 2. And Victor, get your Rudy Poo candy ass in here. Doggone it.
Let's just kick it like this. Let's just kick it like this.
Not Dallas, so fast. Listen, the Dallas Mavericks had a foot put in their ass again.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. I mean, plain and simple.
And we said that would happen.
Yeah,
we absolutely said that would happen.
I called it in 5.
So you said 5. I wanted 4. I wanted anarchy. I wanted full blown anarchy. Damn it! But
I knew Dallas was going to end up taking it at home.
I got some anarchy because of the way the Celtics kicked the Mavericks' ass last night.
Oh my God, it was beautiful,
wasn't it?
The defensive clinic that was put on at the end, near the end of that game was just beautiful. It was complete masterclass.
Speaking of masterclass, it begs the question: are we seeing a dynasty put together now, finally, by the Boston Celtics with this core?
Yes. We had the chance against Golden State, but Golden State beat us in 2022 because they were the much better team. I'm not going to make any bones about it. Dallas, however,
I will say this: do not be surprised if the Warriors rise again from the Western Conference.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see Golden State rise up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Denver have a chip on their shoulders.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
Denver's going to have a chip on their shoulder after the way they choked away the Western semifinal series against Minnesota.
Easily. I wouldn't be surprised to see Minnesota in this, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, there you go. There's a young team that's hungry. And they had a taste of the Western Conference Finals, which was their first West Final appearance since 2004 with Kevin Garnett in the bunch.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see Minnesota there, but here's the thing. Who in the East can stack up to Boston right now?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody. Ain't nobody stacking up to not with that lineup.
No.
Are you crazy? Not with that lineup.
And we're gonna retain most of the core coming into next season.
Oh yeah. I'm excited to see what gives for this Boston Celtics team and how far they can go.
Now here's the thing.
I'm excited for you for them.
Here's the thing. We're gonna have a healthy Porzingis going into next season because he's getting work done on his right leg.
Yep.
And how about that performance by Porzingis, just gutting it out for 16 minutes last night?
That put y'all over the top.
It did.
That put y'all over the top. I need to explain the drink that I have. Well, my wife gave me a few of these water flavors with 0 calories. Of course, I have my standby. And like the Celtics, I come prepared. Here's the water flavor right here.
There you go.
But it's this one that I have to explain. Y'all know I'm a Starbucks fiend.
Yep.
So I rolled by Starbucks this morning and I grabbed an iced matcha green tea lemonade. Ooh. However, I didn't realize that there was a little bit of my orange tangerine drink from last night in here. So what do you think I did?
Mixed it and said the hell with it?
Uh-huh. I mixed them together.
And
D-frickin-licious.
Hey, that is.
I will do it. I will be doing this again.
Hey, sometimes the best accidents turn into a necessity.
I'm going to get a bigger cup and have 2 of these bad boys.
Nice. Nice.
I have a present for you.
Give it to me.
The coaches shake hands, Joe Mazzulla and Jason Kidd. The final 4 seconds tick away. Get ready to raise an 18th banner, Boston. The Celtics are once again the winningest franchise in the history of the NBA. It's an 18th title for the Celtics, the 2024 NBA champions. The green and white confetti falling now as the Boston Celtics defeat the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum finally have their championship. And PJ, light up a cigar for Red. The Celtics are once again the world champs.
Well, so many people, believers, Celtic believers, felt it was inevitable. A lot of other naysayers said, well, they played in the East. It's going to be a little bit different. These powerhouses coming out of the West.
That was so beautiful to see.
Tatum and Deuce.
Tatum and Deuce. Family. The Celtics are a family, like they were in the 80s, like they were, like they are now.
And here's the interesting thing. Here's the interesting thing before we get to the Fanatic feedback zone.
Go for
Our
it.
head coach literally came up through the farm system because he coached here in Maine 2016, 2017 before going to Boston.
Joe Mazzulla. And after all of the ish that went down, after all of the ish that happened,
light one up for Red.
The Boston Celtics are the world champions. I said it.
Light one for Red, baby. We're going to be partying for a long time in the Northeast.
Be happy to. Be happy to, because you shut up Kyrie Irving. I love Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and congratulations to Jaylen Brown, the Michael Jordan Finals MVP.
Well deserved. It could have gone to either him or Tatum the way they both played this series.
Think of the last 3 Finals MVPs. Think of the last 3, and I'm proud to put this name before. Think of the last 3 Michael Jordan MVPs. Stephen Curry, Nikola Jokic, Jaylen Brown. 3 of the best in the game.
And all 3
of the best in the game.
And all 3 changed their respected series.
Yep. 2 years ago, it was Stephen Curry's 43-point outburst in Boston that rescued the Warriors, and they went on to win the series. Nikola Jokic was just playing dominant. Okay, last year. And now I wouldn't say the emergence of Jaylen Brown, but you have to use that word, the emergence of Jaylen Brown being the leader for this Celtics team. And it's always a team effort. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to be joined at the hip forever.
Yeah, easily.
But Jaylen Brown kicked ass all
the
playoffs.
The re-emergence of Jaylen Brown. Let's put it that way. The re-emergence.
Re-emergence of Jaylen Brown.
I mean,
man, I loved every single minute of that ass kicking that your Boston Celtics delivered to the Dallas Mavericks. And let's just call a spade, shall we? I'm going to piss off a lot of Dallas fans by saying the following sentence, but I don't care. The Dallas Mavericks had no damn business in the World Championship Series. N-U-N-N. None.
And here's the thing that I'm looking at stat-wise. Luka Doncic, 12 of 25, including 2 of 9 from deep. Kyrie Irving, 5 of 16, 3 for 9 from deep. That's not getting it done on the court to win a game.
Yeah, and everybody, Minnesota would have been a better matchup. No, they wouldn't have. They'd have suffered the same. They would have against this Boston Celtics team.
It would have been the same fate. It might have gone a game longer, but
I've had so many people. I don't think it would have gone a game longer. So many people have come to me and they said Minnesota would have been a better matchup. No,
there wasn't.
They wouldn't. Not
the best matchup would have been Denver. Best matchup would have been Denver.
That would have been a 7-game war.
It would have.
Don't be surprised next year if it happens.
It would have ended in Boston one way or the other, and it would have been a series for a lifetime.
Everybody would. It would be 1984 all over again.
Yeah, it would have been one of those 7-game slugfests that would be discussed for decades to come.
I mean, we're still. This is 2024, and we're talking about a series that happened 40 years ago.
I mean, we still talk about 1998.
Yep. Game 7, June 3rd, 1984. And of course, we're talking about 1998. Michael's.
The statue.
Thank you. And he still didn't cross the free throw line until it went through the net.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron can't shoot free throws because he puts his foot in the lane all the time. I'm sorry. Did I expose that?
Oops. Point being is Denver would have given Boston a series that would have been a once in a lifetime. We'll get it. I guarantee it. We will get that series.
And they'll get and Boston will also get a rematch with Golden State in the next few years. Guarantee it.
This core is going to hang around for a long time and will be a dominant force in the East.
You know what the Celtics just bought themselves? A decade.
Oh, yeah.
Bought themselves a decade with this core. The same way the Warriors did in 2017.
Yeah.
The same way the Warriors did. And I'm going to make a call right here. Do not be surprised if there's a reunion in Golden State. That is all I will say.
I wouldn't be surprised either, to be honest with you.
And you already know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You already know who I'm talking about. But congratulations to the Boston Celtics. They are your 2024 NBA World Champions. Take a pause for the cause, and when we come back, we're going to shoot the stuff around, and then the Mets on a 6-game winning streak. What in the blue hell?
When did they pull this off?
I don't know. But Jason will come on and help us discuss it, even though my lips are curling thinking about the Mets, the Mets.
My brain is hurting thinking about a 6-game winning streak for the Mets.
Your brain is hurting. Imagine how he feels.
We'll talk about it after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Look at that. It's so sad.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Looking for the best way to experience live events? Well, SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you sign up and use the code Snowman, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening.
This Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
The quickest way to get search engines like Google to put your business at the top of search results is by having a steady flow of positive reviews. With Power Brand systems, you can show up in search and stand apart from your local competition by easily collecting new customer reviews through text message. But getting found is only the beginning. Most consumers choose the first business that responds to them. Unless you start conversations with potential customers almost instantly, they'll go somewhere else. That's why Power Brand systems make starting conversations with website visitors as easy as clicking a button.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central on the Sertoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers, right side, commanders. Where my soldiers, left side, commanders.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show. This is Snowman in the Morning.
This has been another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. That man is evil.
Yep, he is. He really is. Oh man,
that man is freaking evil.
Just the sound effects of
how does he come?
Don't ask a magician how they do their tricks, man.
I can't ask. And he was, look, he is my executive producer, but he was my co-host for 2 years. What the hell am I going to ask him how he comes up with half the stuff he does?
I know, right?
Oh Lord.
Man.
Speaking of laughs, where'd it go? See, I move all my buttons. I'm trying to get organized, and it don't work.
Oh, man.
Let's do this. On the Coffee Guest line, we have Jason DeCanio as we go from the stretch. Good morning, Jason. How are you?
Good morning, troops. I'm doing fantastic. I had a fantastic night. Look at that.
I wonder why.
I was sleeping on Met Heaven last night, knowing those guys were rocking me to sleep with a 14-2 pounding of the current World Series champions, Texas Walker, Texas Ranger, Chuck Norris, whatever you want to call those people out there.
See, and this proves my point that the American League West is up for grabs.
That's right.
The American League West is up for grabs. I don't buy Texas. I sure as hell don't buy Seattle, even though Seattle's the only one with a winning record in the West Division. It will not stay that way.
No.
You can't. Listen, by August, you won't be able to count out the Houston Astros. People think I'm nuts. Are they going to come back from 9? But look, do y'all know what they did last year? They got off to a horrible start. They were minus Jose Altuve for part of the season. Yep. And who won on the last day to claim the West?
Houston.
And I expect they'll do it again. But let's talk about these Mets.
Yeah, let's talk about
them. Okay, who woke up this sleeping giant?
His name is J.D. Martinez, and he's come to play ball for the Queens boys. And,
dingers. Just dingers.
Wait a minute now. Hold on. Before you even get there, the whole team is really getting a lift from J.D. Martinez. But you know what? The big question I have for all of you out there is, who do we give up? Do we give up Alonso or do we give up Martinez? Now, we're stupid for giving up Martinez, but do we trade Alonso? He's the big talk of the trade coming in about another month. So this guy,
look,
he's getting
you guys would be stupid to give up either one of them.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Y'all would be better. You guys would be better. You'd be better off.
Every team gives up such good players in their roster to try to better the team, and it's a money-hungry sport. I don't care what it is. Everybody wants more money, more money, more money, more money, more money. And I'm like, come on, you guys are already making millions. Play the damn game and just freaking go out there and do your job and stop whining and complaining. If you're having a slump, fix it.
You guys honestly would be better off giving up Lindor than Alonso or JD.
Lindor is too dedicated to his job. He's going to be with us for the next. He signed a 10-year contract. This guy.
Well, what?
For almost, I would think, a lot of money, like 14, 15 million. I would think over 10 years. He's dedicated to the job. The guy likes playing in Queens. They all like playing on there. They all like playing on there, and they're finally getting that lift that they so well deserve. A 6-game winning streak against some, I would say, okay, they're below 500, but these are the games that they need to be winning against these teams and not giving up the runs. And I'll tell you what, I'll take 14-2. I'll take 15-0 anytime, because a cushion like that, they're going to score runs, but they shut them down and only held them to 2 runs. We got 20 hits last night, bro. 20 hits. We were popping singles all over the place. Oh, it was like hit them.
When was the last time the New York Mets, got 20 hits in a game?
I think the last time they scored 24 runs against the Phillies, if you recall, what was it, 24-5 or something, where they even had even one of their infielders was throwing pitches because they were losing so bad.
We're not trotting out the bullpen anymore. We're throwing an infielder in there. You can take the heat.
Yeah, forget about it. That's like
and the infielder throws like knuckleball after knuckleball after knuckleball, and then they wind up screwing themselves into the dirt, trying to pull themselves out, trying to swing at that thing. This is why I love baseball, because crazy things happen all the time. Crazy things happen.
Yep.
So
And the craziest one of all happens to be the Mets on a 6-game winning streak. And I
would have said I would have been happy if we had the 5-game, and I would have said we lost one, but still we were on that 5-game. Now we're on a 6, and I can honestly say I'm sending out the vibes. I think for all intents purposes, I'm sending out some good vibes. I'm the last 2 weeks I've been sending out some interesting, signals. And that's you think I'm weird, you can think I'm just crazy or something, but the brain triggers, if you focus on enough things, good positive things, you will ignite something.
And apparently you ignited a load of TNT under the Mets' ass.
That's right, but somebody else did too. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was Jorge Lopez from about a month ago after he told his team you're nothing but trash.
There's some bulletin board material.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Lots of bulletin board material. Yeah. And I got to, Jay, I must, in joking fashion, I got to, about your positivity. And it's true that you have to stay positive, folks.
You do.
But to pick on Jason, I just have to say, with your positive thinking, and I'll say it again, and Lord knows we all need it given the 21st century. Yeah. But again, to pick on Jason, I got to say,
what in the all types of blue hell?
Let me make a call to Agent J and Agent K. I'll be right back.
Hey, remember one thing, you guys, your Pepto and Crown is what's going to keep you guys going. Pepto and Crown. That's the official drink.
You know what?
Yo.
Listen, one of these mornings,
you're going to have Pepto and Crown.
One of these mornings, just as a prop for Jason on Tuesdays, I'm going to have Pepto and Crown on this desk.
Yep.
And if I know my wife, she's going to walk by here, take a look at that set before she heads off to work, and she's going to repeat her question of,
Mister, will you please wake up?
And while I'm going sound crazy again, she's gonna walk by here and ask,
Mister, will you please wake up?
And when I explain who the prop is for, she's gonna look at me and go, "You fool!" And just.
I guarantee you, I'm gonna see that and walk off.
You're gonna do a Gilbert Godfrey on you, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's who I borrowed that from and recorded that sound. You fool! I borrowed it from Gilbert Gottfried.
Hey, we stand at 34 and 37, but I think we're only like 1.5 games back of the wild card. We're wild card material, my friend.
The next team that y'all face is the Chicago Cubs, if my schedule tells me correct. After you beat the Rangers.
Yes, and right now the Cubs are actually slipping. I
have one request. I have one request of you. I have one request of your Mets.
Yes.
Kick the Cubs' asses, please.
Will do. You can book it. Put it in the book. Howie Rose says, right? Yeah.
Put it in the book. Put it in the book. Kick the Cubs' ass.
Can I say something? Look at this National League Central Division and look at how the Cardinals came from dead last to second place, only 5.5 out. Realize we were talking about the Redbirds about 3 weeks ago, and we said those guys are in the basement. They ain't going nowhere. Look at how they turned around. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games.
Now, who was the first to predict the Cardinals would rise out of the basement? That's this guy. Yeah. I've been a Cardinal fan since Whitey Herzog. Okay? That's this guy. Ozzie Smith, George Hendrick, Joaquin Andahar was my first favorite pitcher because of his motion. My first favorite reliever was Bruce Sutter. All right? I love the Cardinals. And then Jack Clark showed up. And then Jack Clark showed up in 1985 and delivered the best home run that I saw up until that point. Then Darryl Strawberry showed up. Then Kevin McReynolds showed up. Then Gary Carter showed up. And then Lenny Dykstra walked up the Astros in 10 innings before college football.
Yeah.
Y'all remember when playoff games were like in the afternoon
Yep.
Especially on Saturdays before the primetime college football matchup.
Oh yeah.
You were thinking when in '86 when ABC had both the league championship series.
Yeah.
I would think that Keith Jackson would do the Mets game and then get on a plane and fly to a college football site.
You know, and you gotta address the fact that those announcers were multi-sport announcers.
Yep.
They didn't just announce for one team; they announced for multiple sports. I mean, like you said, go announce a baseball game. Okay, where am I going next? Oh, you're gonna do the World Cup. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Look it up.
Where the World Cup is. Take me there. We're going.
Look at Al Michaels.
You
Look at Al
remember
Michaels.
Monty Hall, right?
Oh, Al
Monty Hall from Let's Make a Deal, right? In
Yes.
his interview, this man had said he was given the opportunity to do the Wembley Cup, but he had to give it up because he had one of the game shows that he was hosting here in the States. He couldn't do the Wembley Cup. He so wanted to do it. This is a guy who announced hockey games before he even touched Let's Make a Deal. But he said, I can't be in two places at one time. I so want to go. And I had to turn it down because I know where the money is. I'm going where the money is. It's a guarantee that the game show that I'm going to be hosting, I'm not sure what, I don't even think it was anything before Let's Make a Deal. I think it was, I'm not sure. He hosted a whole bunch of stuff before 1963 that was very successful. If you listen to that interview on Archives of American Television, you will get the full Monty Hall story.
Yeah. I can't. I got to look that up now.
Yes, you do.
How about some iconic broadcasters? And I will do Jason a solid and mention the great Howie Rose.
The Howie Rose, who's doing it up with his, I call him the Jimmy Hart of the Mouth of the South for us on WFAN. Because he is a great announcer for radio. I mean, the man can give you play-by-play and do it upright and still be able to drink his Bigelow tea, you know? Proudly, folks, Bigelow tea. Oh God, did we break the sponsor?
You know what I did? You know what I did? You know what I did one night? Jody had trouble falling asleep, right? And Jody does not like baseball. She'll listen to me, but she doesn't like baseball. And she said, "You need to find something to put us to sleep." Because it was 2 a.m. and we both had to get up and go to work the next day.
Right.
And I said, okay, let me think. What do? I find Game 4 of the 2015 National League Championship Series attached with the radio call from Howie Rose and at the time, Josh Lewin.
Yeah.
I queued that up. And by the time Travis d'Arnaud came to the plate, both of us were zonked out. But I love listening to baseball on the radio. I've done it since my dad introduced me to it.
Doesn't it make you feel like you're there, right? When you listen to the radio. And I've been saying that for 35 years, maybe even more. Let me tell you something. I did this once with New Jersey Nets when I was living in New York. I got the newspaper and I looked at the entire Brooklyn/New Jersey Nets schedule for that.
Yeah, you said it right. New Jersey Nets.
New Jersey Nets. In New York up until 95. And by the way, yesterday celebrates 29 years of being here in Central Florida. So happy 29 year to my mom and all of us at the family who came down here. But 1993, I remember it very well. I wrote down all on my calendar every Nets radio game and listened to it on my radio, my little clock radio on 1560 W, you know, and I listened to every game. And I'll tell you what, the most nerve-wracking games to listen to on the radio are the Nets and Knicks. They took it right to the end of the quarter of the game. It was always by a separation of 2 or 3 points, and somehow the Nets pulled off the miraculous win, even with Ewing and Starks and everybody else on the Knicks team who were going to the playoffs. We stole a couple of games from them in that year.
when they were in the Meadowlands Arena, when they were in the, I'll go even further back, when it was called the Brendan Byrne Meadowlands Arena.
Right. Yep.
And what got me hooked on the Brendan Byrne Arena, as Victor has joined us from Chicago, what got me hooked on the Brendan Byrne Arena, let me just play this. Y'all know that I am a nut when it comes to broadcasting. I got hooked on it back in the 80s. I started in the 90s covering games, and all kinds of different themes go through my head. But what got me hooked on the National Basketball Association was this.
CBS.
Yep.
You got it.
CBS. Red Musburger, baby. Yes.
Snowman, the doggone thing. You and I were talking about this a few days ago.
You were talking about this last week after I came off the, after the stretch.
Yeah, exactly. How weird was it for me being a NASCAR fan to hear Ken Squire talk about, yeah, after the Daytona 500, you had the Lakers Celtics game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you I'll even tell you a better if I had access to my stuff here, and if you guys name me a team member on here, I can have access to my stuff. The greatest sports theme ever in the history is the Professional Bowlers Tour from 81 to 1988. ABC Bowlers Tour with Chris Schenkel and Nelson Burke.
Oh my God, Chris Schenkel.
Theme.
Nobody, very few people remember Chris Schenkel. Not only bowling was Chris Schenkel's forte, but
the Olympics. He
did the Olympics, but he also did the NBA when it was on ABC because he called Willis Reed's entrance in 1970 into the Garden after he got a shot because his leg was messed up.
Right.
He called Chris Schenkel did that. They had the blue curtain, and his broadcast partner noticed Willis Reed walking out of the locker room. Yeah. He only scored 4 points, but wound up being the MVP of that series because he dominated the rest of the series. Mm-hmm. As mentioned, Victor Locke joins us, and Victor, when Victor first came on as my engineer, and we were doing a Whitney Young girls basketball game. Mm-hmm. Now he didn't know what I was going to play for the opening. He didn't know how I was going to do the opening.
Right.
Victor had this horrid look at me. Now mind you, this is his first engineering assignment, and he was also my color commentator that night.
Right.
Victor looked at me and said, "You haven't told me blank about what you're going to play for the opening." I said, "Oh, that's easy because I have a surprise." Victor froze while we were walking to the table.
Yeah.
Victor froze while we were walking to the table, and he goes, "No." The hell you mean, no? You are not springing a surprise on me. Not here, not now. I swear to you, Victor protested, and he was dead serious.
Because my thing is, I've always been that Newton's law. Whatever can't go wrong will go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like surprises at that point. I want to make sure everything is uniformed and ready to go. And I'd rather stick with what works.
Yeah, if it ain't broke.
Well, what Victor didn't know is that I had taken care of everything, all the commercial breaks, because I stayed up the night before editing it. I had put it all together, put it all on the sound base, but I actually had a blank page on my sound base. Mm-hmm. And I sat down, I opened my laptop, and while Victor was not looking, I queued up the empty page.
Right.
Victor took a look at that page and damn near choked me.
Like, there's nothing here.
Because Victor's going, "I don't have any buttons to push." I said, "Sure you do." Victor looked at the screen, looked back at me with fury in his eyes, and he says, "Look, there is nothing on this page." I said, "Sure there is." And by the time Victor wanted to take a bat and swing it at me, I queued up the page, and he looks and he goes, "Where'd all this come from?" I said, "Me last night," because I was editing it. And he looked and he looked and he looked and he goes, "There's no opening." "Yeah, there is." Victor looked at the page again. He says, "There's no opening." Yes, there is. And Victor said, "Look, I'm going to walk out of here right now, and I'm not coming back." And when Victor walked by Corey Irvin, the girls' basketball coach at the time, he turned around and sat down because apparently Corey flashed a look at him as if to say, "You're not going anywhere."
I'm like, I'm stuck. It is what it is at this point.
No, but you know what's funnier though? Earlier that year, we were covering Whitney Young volleyball because I had gotten the full contract: volleyball, basketball, baseball, and football. Victor joined me to do a volleyball match, and I swear to you, I got in more trouble during that first volleyball match.
Yes, you did.
I forgot the coach's name. Her name escapes me.
Jamie Walters.
Jamie Walters. Thank you.
There you go.
I'm looking at the girls warming up. I didn't see the coach. I did not see the coach. Victor comes in, he sits down, and he says, "Who's the coach?" I say, "Her name is Jamie Walters." She walks up behind me.
Oh no.
And puts her hand on my shoulder. I turn around and I nearly melted. I looked at her and I said, "Don't do that."
And that would be
Then
melting in the snow, even though
it gets better. That day got crazy for both of us. This was 2007. It gets better. Volleyball comes right at our table while the girls are warming up. Victor catches it and walks back, and then Laura Castleberry shows up for him.
Right.
By this time, Victor's blushing. I'm blushing. We both sit down, look at each other, and go, "This is not going to end well."
No.
And by that time, they were playing their biggest rival, and the division title was hanging in the balance.
Yep.
And we were both praying for a 3-game sweep.
Yeah.
We were both praying Whitney Young just kick their ass so we can go home.
Right.
Nope. It went all 5 games, and each one went extra points.
Yep.
Each one.
That's a good of a matchup that was, though.
Oh, it was a great match.
Great match.
That was a great match.
I would like to say, that's a great story, and I'd like to say that every week that I come on here, I'm going to bring some kind of memorabilia or some kind of object onto the show to kind of influence the conversation a little bit. So, like I said, I brought my pillow because
you were sleeping on Mets Heaven.
I'm on a cloud of orange and blue floating away, and next week you don't know what I'm going to bring. I mean, it could be a Mets cup, it could be hey, I have those starting lineup figurines, by the way. Well, I will show you my collection if I got to go into the garage and go get them, but I think I do
Speaking of cups,
yeah,
I have one here that's going to make Jason bristle.
Oh
no. Ooh.
Which one?
My daughter, Cheyenne, gave me the perfect Christmas present. And it's this.
Oh, there you go.
Cheyenne gave me this. My wife.
49er Diner. There you go, friends. Yep. 49er heaven, I'm telling you. And he's wearing the shirt today.
Then there's this that my wife gave me for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you showed us
got me this a couple years ago.
Agree.
Listen, Montana to Clark did it.
Yep.
Right.
Not only did it give me a bunch of cupcakes the next day, but Montana to Clark made me a 49er fan forever.
And also Montana to Rice afterwards.
And make a prediction before I leave. Oilers Friday gonna seal the deal against not the Oilers, Panthers. They're gonna win against the Oilers. They're up 3-1. Will they do it on Friday? Will they take the cup?
They better, or Droid's gonna rip his hair out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hair to rip out on that boy's head.
I hope the Florida Panthers get it. And not
I hope
just
they take care of business. Game 5's tonight, and I hope they take care of business.
Game 5 is Friday. Actually, Game 5 is Friday. It's given after the beating they gave them the Panthers 8-1. I couldn't believe it. 8-1. Where was Edmonton then? Florida was dominating.
You would think it was the '85 Oilers.
That's right.
Game 5 is tonight.
Game 6 is Friday. Game 5 is tonight. It's a 3-1 series lead for the Panthers. We're going to take a break, but Jason, as always, my friend, thank you very much for coming on. Very much appreciated. You don't know what memorabilia he's going to have next week, but he's going to have something. Jason, thank you very much, my friend. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
See you guys next week.
Oh boy. You know what? I can sympathize with Jason because I barely slept last night, but
you ain't sleeping for a year.
No, I'm not.
No, I figured dog has lost.
Dog ain't sleeping for a year.
Dog has lost.
Okay, his family is going to come by. Listen, his family is going to come by, child in tow, and celebrate with him. Dog ain't sleeping for a year.
He was out barking. He was out howling at the moon.
Mm-hmm. He was doing everything. Let me finish this. When we did that Whitney Young match, and Victor looked at me and says, "I think the coach has the hots for you." Man, ain't no way. Are you kidding? Remember, I work here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Find a lie.
If I'd have known that phrase then, he'd have screamed it at me.
And Vic, you think I'm exhausted now? Wait till I come back on Monday after being at the track on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Shoot, wait till I come back from South Bend, Indiana.
Oh,
man, we're gonna be dragging some ass on Monday.
We all are going to be dragging ass on Monday. Why am I going to South Bend? I am helping my honey with a fair that she's going to be at, and Saturday is her birthday.
Hey.
So Dr. K and I are going to have a little fun up in northern Indiana. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll share some more stories, give you a preview of the Panthers' ass-kicking of the Oilers tonight. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. And we await the arrival of Arrow Marks and another legendary rant. Hour 2 after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back and in our 30th year of action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service, we got it all. And when you sign up today and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to BETUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at InvaderCoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose...
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
11:01, 1 minute after the hour, and brace yourself, folks. Here's the man in charge of the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, where you can see us every Monday through Friday morning, Mr. Errol Marks himself. Big E, what's going on, man?
What's going on, boys? How are you?
What up,
Good.
brother?
How you doing?
Now, we're just going to sit back and let you cut loose.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm promoting Northwell right now because I work for Northwell during the day. So why not, promote them?
Yes.
The DX shameless plug always helps.
They're not paying me for it. They're not paying me for it, so I don't know.
Right.
They should.
Listen, look what I'm promoting here, okay? Two things. My favorite team and my favorite person, which is my wife, who gave me this present, okay?
I like it. It looks good on you, man. You lost a lot of weight. You look good.
Thank you. I've lost a ton of weight. I'm going to lose a little bit more and then getting my legs stronger, getting back in the gym and everything. I love being slim again, man. I love it.
Yo, and this is my first time for one of your rants, so I can't wait to see what you bring, dude.
Right.
I'm ready. Cut loose, Errol. All yours.
All right. So first of all, you guys can listen to me on the Sports Loudmouth every single Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. with me and Speedy. It's a great show. We have great content as far as the guests. We have the best in the business, and we just love to pound it in and make sure that people understand what sports is, the passion of sports, and just how loud we can get and how funny we could be. So we're very, very funny. I do a lot of crazy things. So stay tuned. Tonight will be another show at 7 o'clock. It's one of the craziest shows you'll ever watch. I promise you.
Indeed it is.
All right. So let's get into the Boston so-called Celtics.
And of course, my team wins the championship. I'm here for the first time for a rant, and you're going to rip into my team. Okay, I see how it is.
All right, here's the thing. And my rant with the Boston Celtics isn't that they didn't deserve it. They were the best team in the NBA all season long, no question. But you want to know something? When you look at that team, and everybody keeps talking about Porzingis really did nothing in the playoffs. Yes, he played well in game number 1 and game number 2, but he did nothing. He showed up yesterday, he probably itched his ass, and that was about it, okay? The Boston Celtics beat nobody. They beat nobody. They went through the playoffs beating no one. They beat Miami without Jimmy Buckets. Then they go on and they play the Cavaliers. They barely played. They barely played Donovan Mitchell. And then they go into the Eastern Conference Finals, not against the Knicks. And even if they played the Knicks weren't 100% healthy. All you see is Julius Randle and the so-called Knicks show up to game night at the Celtic game, showing up and speaking because they weren't even in the finals. The Celtics played a non-Indiana Pacer team without Halliburton. They go all the way to the finals and they play against the Dallas Mavericks that shouldn't have even been there. The Timberwolves, the Denver Nuggets, they beat nobody. This was the easiest way to the finals. Well, how many championships? 18 championships? This was the easiest championship they ever damn won. Okay? They didn't beat nobody. This was so easy for them. So for all you Celtic fans all over social media saying, we're the champions, singing we are the champions, you know what you're going to be singing next year? We are the mice. We are the rats. Because that's what you guys are. You guys sit there, you can go on your freaking rants and raves, you could go and do your parades, you could sit there with Jason Tatum, who I love, by the way, because I'm a Duke Blue Devil fan, and Jaylen Brown, who, by the way, never shows up to the big game. And I'll give a shout-out to Drew Holiday. I love Drew. Shame on you signing a 4-year extension with the Celtics, okay? And Al Horford, are you kidding me? Old man Al sitting there crying the blues yesterday? I'd rather cry to a baby's mom. I can't sit there and listen to any of the Celtic fans sit there and tell me, oh, we're the champions. We were the best team in the league. You didn't beat anybody. You didn't beat the Denver Nuggets, the champions. You didn't beat the Timberwolves. And you would have been better off playing LeBron James in the finals because Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving out each other after the fight. After the fight was over, because that's what it was a fight between two players, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. They didn't even get along in the finals. They were going at each other every single game. I mean, and by the way, what is it with the Mavericks, okay? After the game, they say, oh, well deserved. But throughout the playoffs, all they kept doing was, quoting themselves as we're the best team. We want to prove ourselves. This, and that, and this. You had a chance to prove yourself in the finals against a team you could have beaten. You beat the Timberwolves, a team that smashed around the Denver Nuggets, and you couldn't even get over the hump to a undersized Boston Celtic team, okay? That's all I'm going to say about the Boston Celtics. Now, okay, let's go on to the haters like Jerry Recco, okay, that took shots at Juan Soto because he doesn't want to play injured. He doesn't want to play injured. Let me tell you something about Jerry Recco. Great guy. He really is. His this morning hour with whatever his name is. I know who his name is, but I don't even want to mention it. Okay. They goes out there and he wants to sell his product to the nation, wants to sell his product to the New York fans. And he goes out and says, Juan Soto, hey, Jerry, who do you root for? Oh, I'm sorry. You root for the New York Mets, okay, who absolutely suck. And you know what? You sit there and you talk about the Yankees that are the best team in baseball, first team to 50 wins, best pitching staff in baseball, best lineup in baseball, and you got something to say. Here's what I'm going to say to Jerry Recco. Jerry, don't quit your day job. Stick to the play-by-play. Because as far as I'm concerned, when you're speaking as a broadcaster or a podcaster, I don't want to listen to you. I have no reason to listen to you. Okay? You want to sit there and pretend that you're a Met fan, or you want to pretend that you know about New York sports? Maybe you should keep it in your pie hole. All right. Now, as far as the New York Knicks are concerned, the New York Knicks, Josh Hart and Julius Randle showing up to the NBA Finals. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? Why would you sit there? And by the way, shame on ESPN for not letting Josh Hart speak when he was there. He said, what, 2 words? And then you have Julius Randle, who can't speak a lick. The guy complains more than he freaking plays basketball. I don't want to hear Julius Randle. The guy stinks. The guy's a bricklayer. He goes into the playoffs. He doesn't show up to the playoffs. And when he's not in the playoffs, all he's got to say is sit there and talk about the other teams that they're playing. He stinks. The Knicks need to get rid of him. I don't want to hear about Stephen A. Smith telling me that he was the missing piece for them winning a title. The only missing piece they have is the toilet bowl that Jalen Brunson sits on. Okay? About that. Now, as far as the Ranger fans are concerned, as far as all the Ranger fans are concerned, sitting there and they're saying, oh, better luck next year. We're going to be better next year. Okay, you're going to be better next year. Okay, you got Ontario Panarin right now, who has a no-trade clause. You have Zibanejad, who has a no-trade clause. The only guy you could trade next year is Chris Kreider, who's old and nobody's going to want in the next year or two. And you have no wing depth. That has been your problem throughout the playoffs. You could have made a trade. You could have traded one of your two young players to add another notch, another right winger or left winger to that first line or second line. You didn't do it. That cost you beating the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers on the way to the Stanley Cup. They went on to the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. They're on their way to winning a Stanley Cup for the first time in their team's existence. When the Rangers could have been up 3-1 against this lonely, horrible goaltending team in the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, the only thing I can say about the Edmonton Oilers is they have the 2 best players in the world. That's it. Two best players in the world. And by the way, I don't want to sit and listen to any of this all these NHL fans that are going to go out and say, well, the Florida Panthers team was the best team in the league all season long. They weren't. The Rangers were the best team in the NHL. They won the President Trophy. The only reason why the Florida Panthers are where they are today is because the Rangers choke and they're choke artists in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what it is. And they have no chance of going to the Eastern Conference Finals next year because they're going to be a bunch of other teams in the Eastern Conference that are going to be better, and they have salary room as the NHL. What is it? The money went up for like $4 or $5 million. So I'm not done with the NHL. I'm done. I don't care who wins the NHL finals. Honestly, Florida Panthers, I want the Florida Panthers win because I don't want to sit there and listen to the Edmonton Oilers fans saying, hey, we win another cup. Meanwhile, you haven't won a cup in, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years, you bunch of losers. Anyways, now, Stephen A. Smith. Okay.
Oh, no. Here it comes.
Here we go.
I did a rant on Stephen A. Smith on my show the other day, and I'll give Stephen A. Smith a lot of credit.
Mm-hmm.
He brings that exposure to the sports world. He brings that personality to the sports world. The problem with Stephen A. Smith, he doesn't know anything about sports. He only knows
Wow.
He only knows basketball. That's it. That's all he knows is basketball. I love Steven. He's great. He's a great personality. He shows off his comedy on his show, and he brings all these people. I got two things to say to Stephen A. Smith. One, and I'm gonna get into the WNBA thing with the Caitlin Clark thing, because I got a lot to say about that with the USA Olympic team. I got a lot to say about that, but I'm gonna leave that to my bottom rate over there. But here's actually my bottom Bonnie rate, because I'd rather listen to Bonnie rate than listen to the USA Olympic team make up excuses. Okay, I'm going to say this. All right, Stephen A. Smith needs to stop talking about boxing and mixed martial arts. Please. Please. You know nothing. You know nothing about boxing. You have David Benitez. Yeah, I know. Max Kellerman, at least if I'm listening to Max, I know he knows what he's talking about, at least about boxing. Okay?
Yes.
All right? He comes out and he has David Benitez on his show. And we all know Canelo Alvarez is ducking him. Canelo Alvarez hasn't beaten anybody. The guy has beaten no one. He's fought guys at the low point of their careers. And then when he fights guys, when he fights guys that are worthy enough to fight him, he's doing steroids, okay? This is the facts, okay? He comes out many, many times saying that I never cheated, I never did this, I just ate a big steak. Let me ask you a question, Canelo. Does a big steak have 50 cc's of steroids in it? Give me the effing... This guy has been nothing but a boxing world. Nothing but a shyster to the boxing world. And to me, he's a champion. People want to see him. Honestly, I don't want to see him anymore. He doesn't want to fight the big fights. He doesn't want to fight David Benitez. He doesn't want to fight this guy. He doesn't want to fight. Well, the money's got to be right. Dude, every single fight you fight, you make $100 million. The money's always right. Okay? You're just scared. You cocoon yourself. You're like you hide yourself in your damn shell. Okay, you're a quiet storm. Okay, that's what you are. You're a quiet storm. When you get outbursts, you want to go after somebody. You do it when you're in front of the press. But when it comes down to sitting in front of a camera and saying what you really feel, you hide in a cocoon. You're a little chicken ass. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to say it because we're on live radio, and I'm not. But everybody knows that Canelo Alvarez is a little scared punk. That's what he is. He's scared. And he doesn't fight real fights. He's a chicken. All right? And that's all I'm going to say about Canelo Alvarez. As far as I'm concerned, David Benitez is the best fighter right now. In 168, 170, it doesn't matter who fights him. He's going to knock him the hell out. All right? That's it. And that's it. And David Benitez has every right to move up in weight. You know why? Because nobody wants to fight the guy, and he's at the prime of his career. And he wants to make his money now. before he gets to that age where he can't make his money. So you can't hate on David Benitez. By the way, congratulations to David Benitez this weekend. He fought a worthy opponent, and he absolutely threw him around, and he broke his hand too. He broke his hand in the fourth round or third round. He still fought a great fight and won a great fight. And by the way, shout out to Tank, by the way. One of the greatest boxers I've seen, not only in his weight class, one of the greatest boxers I have seen in the last 25 years. Tank Davis is the best fighter in the world right now. Nobody can question that right now. Nobody wants anything to do with him. He is the best fighter in one of the hardest divisions right now in boxing. You can quote that, and you can take that, turn that bitch sideways and stick it up everybody's candy asses, okay? That's what I'm going to say. All right, so that's what I'm going to say about that. Now, as far as the UFC is concerned, listen, Conor McGregor, you little chicken. You hide around, you go on your little movies, Roadhouse, good for you, congratulations. You were a great bad guy in a movie. You are a chicken. Michael Chandler is not even a great worthy opponent, and you're ducking and weaving him. You're ducking and weaving him. Why don't you go hide back out in Ireland and hope nobody finds you there? Because if any American's going to sit here and think that this guy is a worthy UFC sellable partner in what the UFC is trying to sell, boy, oh boy, you guys are lost. This guy is not a worthy fighter. He's scared. The last time he fought a good fight was against Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier kicked your ass. Okay? You are a complete loser. You haven't beaten anybody since Jose Aldo. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about him. You are a chicken. You're a chicken. Retire already. Go back to your whiskey, whatever the hell you're doing. Make your billions and millions of dollars and get away from the sport. You're ruining the sport. You ruined the pay-per-view. I am tired of this. I don't want to hear Conor McGregor's name ever again in the mixed martial arts world. The guy's a chicken. He's a chicken. And Conor, if you really want a good fighter, I'll dip down. I'm 230. I'll dip down and fight you at 185. How's that, Conor? You want to walk at 185? You want to flaunt your flex and do whatever the hell you do on national radio and television? You want to go on the Joe Rogan show and talk crap? Why don't you talk crap to a nobody? I'm a nobody, and I'll kick your little ass, okay? You are a chicken. You are a chicken. You never want to fight. Don't fight again. You never want to fight. It's been, 4 years? And then you blame Dana White that you're not in the ring? Dude, you had a chance to fight Michael Chandler this week, and you chicken out. You're a chicken. Now, you say Women's Olympics, okay? And I'm going to calm down here. I'm going to try to get my piece out. I was ranting and raving. I'm all over the place. I'm going to be very kind and very collective. All right. The Caitlin Clark thing is despicable. What the United States Olympic team is doing, okay? And I understand she didn't practice with the USA team. I understand she hasn't been. She's worried about right now her WNBA team and Indiana. Great. If you look at the exposure right now that Caitlin Clark is bringing to the game and women's basketball, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. She's bringing fans from all different parts of the world. Hockey fans, with men's basketball, NBA fans, NHL fans, fighting fans. Everybody wants to see what Caitlin Clark is doing every single day. Every single person wants to see what Caitlin Clark is doing. She sells out arenas. She's Taylor Swift. That's what she is in the WNBA. That's what she is.
Yeah,
all right,
not
that's
wrong.
Okay. So now you're going to Paris, France, and the biggest star in women's basketball is not going? What the hell is the United States Women's Basketball Organization doing? What are they doing? To me, is it racism? And now let me tell you something. Diana Taurasi should keep her mouth shut, okay? And I don't want to hear Diana Taurasi say she's not a worthy United States, but she didn't do anything. She hasn't earned it. Did you earn as a rookie to play for Team USA? Absolutely not. Candace Parker, were you worthy enough to play for the United States as a rookie? No, you were not. So Caitlin Clark, who's done something that's only Sabrina has done, with 150 points. I think it was like 60 rebounds and something assists in so many games. They're the only two players to do that in a 10-game span in WNBA history, and everybody's saying she hasn't been good. What are you kidding me? If you look at Steph Curry's numbers, I said this on my show. Steph Curry, who was quoted as only a three-point shooter, didn't Diana Taurasi say that? Didn't Diana Taurasi say she's only a three-point shooter? Diana, how about you? When you came into the WNBA, what were you acknowledged as? A three-point shooter. But everybody loved you. You were loved by everybody else. But Caitlin Clark, you don't want to give Caitlin Clark a lot of respect. Oh, she's just a three-point shooter. Diana, she's the same person you were, even better. And I'm going to tell you this. Steph Curry's numbers in his rookie season are identical.
Absolutely identical.
To Caitlin Clark's, okay? And I'm not saying she's Steph Curry, but look what Steph Curry did for the NBA. He changed the game. Now, I'm not a Steph Curry fan, but he changed the game. Now, everybody's jacking up 36 threes a game. Everybody. The only way you can win is jacking up threes. Caitlin Clark is going to bring young ladies, young women that want to, instead of playing softball, instead of wanting to play hockey and all that, wanting to play women's basketball. She's going to she's going to impact women's basketball for the better. Why isn't the USA Olympic team looking at this and seeing that this is so important to bring Caitlin Clark to Paris? It is so very important. And Stephen A. Smith, you're absolutely right. I'll give you credit for this. You are absolutely right. You're the only one on First Take that said this, that it is a catastrophe. It's a catastrophe that the WNBA isn't fighting this with the United States Olympic team, that she should be on the USA team. I don't care if she doesn't play. She can sit and ride the bench. She's going to
You just said the key point, and I talked about this last night. Even if she doesn't play a minute in Paris, you're growing the game just by having her presence there on the team. This is a travesty to me to not have Caitlin Clark, the most popular women's basketball player in the 21st century, on the team.
No question. And it's a shame. It's a shame. And you know what? And the excuses, and I'm not going to mention any names because you know who you are. I'm not going to mention any of the people running the United States women's basketball team. I'm not going to mention any names. I said it on my show. You know what I feel about you. If you're listening, you can kiss my rear end, okay? I'm going to tell you this. The WNBA is a growing sport. I've gone to many different events, and people have told me, March Madness, nobody wanted to watch the men's March Madness this year. Nobody wanted to watch. Everybody wanted to watch Caitlin Clark and what she was doing in March Madness for the women's. Everybody has said that women's basketball is transitioning. Women's college basketball is transitioning. It's becoming more popular. It's becoming more of a betting line for betting people out there. If you're a betting man or a betting woman, you would rather go and watch a women's basketball game than, a women's college than a men's college basketball game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I just think that it's just a catastrophe. Everything that professional sports, this is entertainment, right? Am I right, boys? You guys are all about entertainment, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And when you think about entertainment and what entertainment does, you want to drive the younger fans. Right now, the average American person, the average age that listens to sports radio is between 25 and 35. Okay?
Yes.
That's right. Right. Now, the average sports fan that watches sports religiously is the ages between 25 and 40. Okay? That's what those are the diehard fans, the betting fans. Okay? Now, don't you think if you have somebody like Caitlin Clark driving these young girls to want to watch her to play, where it is going to move up, where people are going to say, hey, you know what? At the age of 10, at the age of 12 and 13, I want to sit and watch women's basketball. I want to sit and watch professional sports now because I'm getting to learn that it's not just all about men. It's about women too. It's about women too. Women are transitioning the game. Eventually, I don't care what anybody says, we're going to see a women's coach in the NBA. Eventually, we're going to see a women's.
I can't wait. I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for the day we see a women's coach in the NBA, and it's not too far off.
Nope.
It is not too far off from happening.
I believe you're going to see a women's basketball player in the NBA eventually. You're going to see it. I don't care what anybody says. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. You can say whatever you want.
I see it also.
And also, with the NHL in the 90s, they did it with Marshawn Rayum. They did it. She was a goaltender. She was drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning. She was like, I think she was like a fourth or fifth round. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. She played a couple of games. She didn't cut it. But you're going to see, one day you're going to see these women are fast. If you watch the All-Star game 2 years ago, there was the women All-Stars versus the men All-Stars. You see how fast they are. You see how different the game is, how it's become more speed, less hitting, less fighting. You're going to see that. You're going to see women in the NHL eventually. I believe it. The only sport you're not going to see women play against men is football, because they'll probably die. Okay. But in baseball too, women can hit, women can pitch. You see women softball pitchers throwing 82 mile per hour with a women's softball. Okay. What do you think they could do with a baseball? So I just think that you got to stop being so sexist. Stop it. The world's got to stop. It's got to change now. You got to look at the real big picture right now. Sports it's graduating. Okay. It's graduating to different heights, and people got to be open to see what the change is. The change is great for all these organizations, advertisements and sponsorships, all you people out there that see what the transition is. And Diana Taurasi, you should see it. Caitlin Clark bringing a shoe deal, the way she's brought it to women's basketball, is going to open up paths for women basketball players to make more money. Money.
Oh, yeah. And lots of it's available. We're up against a break, but another legendary rant from Errol Marks, the man in charge of the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Tonight, 7 p.m., the Sports Loudmouths. I'm going to have my headset on while I'm working on stuff, tuning in. You're great. You're a wonderful friend. I love you very much. And I want to pay Errol, I'm going to throw Errol some flowers here. Errol is one of the networks that have stuck with me when I was going through cancer, when I was going through blood clots, everything. And he just kept telling me, whenever you're ready and you get it together, you have a spot on my network. You can hear us every day. And Errol, I thank you very much, my brother. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate you coming on. This spot is yours each and every week. And I mean that. I mean that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Glad I could be here for this one.
I'm glad you are here for this one. We're up against. Wow. Look, we'll talk later.
Yeah.
60 seconds, and then the token female. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back and in our 30th year of action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service, we got it all. And when you sign up today and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to BETUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at InvaderCoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
Mister, how do you operate operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck. You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
I kicked over a hornet's nest during the break.
Oh, what'd you do now?
Oh no.
The question was posed: is Jason Tatum better than Luka Doncic?
Yeah.
I say, yeah. Luka sucks. Cut him now. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, who'd you piss off?
You don't want an answer to that until after we get out of here.
Oh,
speaking of answers, we got some answers in women's sports as I welcome one of my dearest friends. You know her well as the token female, Allison Moran. And she joins us right now from Chicago. Good morning, my dear. How are you?
Good morning, Brian. I am doing relatively well.
That's good.
Yes. Give me a 95-degree day, and I am sitting at home watching sports in front of my air conditioner. So, hi, dog.
You can't beat that. You cannot beat that.
No,
All right.
that's what I've been doing ever since the heat wave started.
Yeah, Maine is just now getting that heat wave, so I'll be joining you guys.
Listen, the heat wave hit us in southern Indiana. I looked at Jody, she looked at me, and Jody says to me, "Are you planning to go anywhere?" I took a look outside and I went, "Nope." We went back to bed.
Yeah, best place to be, especially
we cranked the air up and slept.
It's like it's like when you were a
Good
kid.
job, buddy.
Like when you were a kid, you're like, "Hey, mom, I'm hot," and they're like, "Be still. You'll cool down that way."
Wrong answer. Speaking of answers, there were some answers according to Christine Brennan's USA Today article, which came out on Sunday. Over one 24-hour period in Indianapolis, Indiana, 20,689 rose to its feet at Lucas Oil Stadium, a place I'm very familiar with, for the Olympic qualifying trials. And then down the street, you got a sellout of 17,274 at another place I'm familiar with, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, as the Fever topped the sky again. 91-83. Caitlin Clark, 23 points in a masterful performance against Chicago. And I'll tell you what, Allison, we'll start there. The Fever played the most fluid game they have played, even though they own wins over they own a win over Washington and a couple of other teams. Saturday's game was the most fluid game I've seen them play all year. And you've heard me say on this program, and you were riding shotgun, Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark can be a frightening pick and roll duo. They proved it on Saturday.
You mean Sunday?
Sunday. Yes, thank you. Sunday.
Yeah, against the Chicago Sky, definitely. Yeah, the most lethal combination at the worst time for the Chicago Sky. I tell you, and I have some further information about that game. Just this morning, the WNBA announced that game on Sunday at 11 a.m. my time, 12 p.m. your time, the most watched game on any network in 23 years. Overall, 2.25 million viewers. The game peaked with nearly 3 million viewers. And it was the most streamed WNBA game ever. I mean, let's just say this is the time for
it is.
It's the WNBA time. It's something as Christine Brennan mentioned in the article that all of us who have braved through Title IX from its infancy all the way to now. We have been waiting to see filled stadiums. We have been waiting all this time for the recognition, for the physicality, for the ability to sell tickets. Get this, the Fever and Sky They are, they're going to meet again at Wintrust Arena on the 23rd, and the tickets for that game are going $220 to $1,516 apiece. Who's ponying up for me?
Right?
Wait a minute. You don't need to be ponied up for. You're going to walk in strapped with a press pass. Are you kidding me? I'm going to make the trip. If I can spring it, I will bring Jody and we'll make the trip up to Chicago, and I'll request press. I will email you after the show to get us some press passes for that game, because I want to spoil my honey rotten.
And she what did you say, dog?
I was about to say I would be there for all of that, but I've got a trip to New Hampshire on Saturday, so I can't do much. I got VIP passes to the New Hampshire race, so I kind of got to be there.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yep.
Oh well. We didn't want you.
One of these days, we're all gonna.
I see how it is. Okay. 2 weeks in, I'm already getting roasted by you. Okay, I get it.
I am kidding you, dog. I am totally kidding you.
I know
I love you. You know. I've told you.
I know this, sweetheart. I know.
No, I'm kidding. Actually,
y'all wonder why I love doing this show with the laughter we have contained within for 120 minutes. My gracious.
I know.
Even my friend from Chicago is taking a shot at the dog this morning.
I haven't even had a chance to open up the garage yet. We'll have to save that for tomorrow.
We are definitely gonna save that for tomorrow. But that game on Sunday between the Fever and the Sky, I watched it from start to finish. I almost put the headset on for it, but I didn't feel prepared and I wasn't ready. And Jody saw the look in my eyes as they were doing the warm-up show, getting ready, and she leaned over and she says, you can't do it. And I said, why not? She says, I know how you prepare and how much time you spend preparing, and especially now with you doing the graphics and all that, and you just weren't ready for it. All right. She's right. She's right.
Remember, Jody is always right.
Oh, that's the number one rule in the house.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
That's the number one rule in the house. I disobey it from time to time, but that's the number one rule in the house.
Always listen to your wife. Your life will be much happier.
Always. I mean, she saved my life 3 times. How can I not listen to her all the time?
Absolutely.
How can I not listen to her all the time?
Who is going to save the Sky? I have to say, it's they absolutely are having a time of it. If you saw the press conference, one of the reporters asked her on Friday. So after I think it was their 7th straight loss, now they have like 9 straight losses. And the thing is that she actually walked out of the press conference, threw down her headphones, and said. And just said, didn't say anything actually, but the question was so simple. Are you making changes to your lineup? And we got those changes actually on Sunday. They had Lindsey Allen and Kennedy Carter starting instead of Dana Evans and Diamond DeShields, who's been looking for her shot ever since she came back to the Sky and coming off of a serious injury. But the primary thing is that they're not a cohesive unit yet. They are missing each other at every turn. What they really have to be working on is their chemistry. They've got to be working on reading each other and learning how to not be selfish with the ball. they need to play around. I know Angel Reese at one point was grousing about how Marina Mabry had the ball but wasn't able. But she was open. Marina didn't pass to her, but tried to take the outside shot herself, and things like that. Little things like that. If they can improve their chemistry, they could have maybe not a contender, but I would have given them mid-pack instead of being close to the bottom at this point. And the thing is that unlike their championship year, you can't build around a team, any one person on this team. They are not superstars. They are workaday people. Angel and Camilla, both of them, they are way too young to lead the team. They don't know. They don't know yet how to command the floor. Excuse me. And it bothers me because they could be good. I'm very frustrated with them. It's a very tough thing. They are. I think that Teresa Weatherspoon said it best when she said, "What's the answer? Play 40 minutes of basketball. That down the stretch is the worst. Down that last 2-3 minutes has made the whole difference in the game. They need to get damn aggressive. They need to put the ball. They need to put the ball into, say, an Angel Reese's hands or a Camila Cardozo's hands, and let them do their magic. That's what I think."
Now, here's the thing with I think part of it, as I watched the game on Sunday, they're scared to trust Angel Reese down the stretch.
Yeah, they are.
Because also down the stretch, they turned the ball over 6 times.
Yes.
And 3 of those 6 resulted in 3-point field goals. 2 of them came from Caitlin Clark, who had a 14-point second half en route to her 23 points. Aaliyah Boston put in 6 down the stretch. And here's the thing that killed the Sky. They surrendered 4 offensive rebounds in the final 2 minutes.
Right. It is what they're going to have to do for the Wings who are coming up on Thursday is they're going to have to find that answer to and another thing they have to do is limit their quote unquote stars getting into foul trouble. Because if
that's what always killed. That's what's killed them on this 9-game losing streak. When they get a good rhythm going, they commit silly fouls. 3 of them put Indiana in the penalty with less than 6 minutes remaining. So Indiana was marching to the free throw line.
Yeah, there's nothing that anybody can do except really try and work on it. Now, here are my 3 remedies for that. Number 1, they need. They're kind of lucky over the next 3 games. They're all at home. They can. They had a day off yesterday. They need to refocus. They need to address these issues with the foul trouble. You can't always blame the refs, even though we did see some very suspect issues. On Sunday, and maybe a couple on Friday as well. And so, but let's not curse at the refs and get thrown out of the game, okay? But let's Spoon has to continue to find the way for those players to get smart enough to avoid those kinds of silly penalties and get them out of that situation. Second of all, they really need to focus in on the shooting. Their shooting was pathetic. Okay,
It was abysmal.
Yeah,
It was abysmal.
yeah, and there were so many missed shots. There were so many potential. Let's concentrate. Let's do drills. Let's do something in the practice that's going to allow them to really get into their into a comfortable rhythm. Number 3, work on your chemistry. As I said before, work on playing as a team. There's good potential in this team. There's a lot of really talented players, and I think those are the 3 keys to them having a better season. We are, let them do some team building exercises. Let's go out and do some, some kind of nonprofit work together. Build a house for Habitat for Humanity or something.
Right.
Because this is because I see on the floor about I see 5 individual players playing together. Don't you see that? It's
more, and you saw it. It's not only in this 9-game losing streak for Chicago. You saw it Sunday so many times over that you saw more individual play than team play, and Indiana is getting smart about it with their opponents, and they're taking full advantage of it because now you see Indiana rounding into shape. They still have a few pieces. They started off horribly. We all know that, but they picked up 2 wins against what a lot of people think is going to be their chief opponent. And now you start to see the Indiana Fever starting to round into shape as a team because, as I said, Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston can be a frightening pick and roll duo. Now it's time for the role players, the spot up players to get to their spots. You don't see that with the Sky. You saw it early in the year, but you don't see that right now. And Dog has a point.
You really don't. And the thing about Indiana, and this is what Chicago is going to have to do, is Chicago needs to find 2 things: late game leadership and their identity.
Bingo.
Yep.
Bingo.
And they've got to find it fast. They do. And I think it's the frustrations really showing on all of in all of the press conferences. Particularly with Teresa Weatherspoon, she has been truculent. She's had 4-word answers to questions. I think it's a real frustration for her because there's just not there's not the commitment of the players on the floor. Now it's just really, really difficult to watch them now. But this is still, believe it or not, a young season. And they've got a hell of a lot of basketball to play. So it's my opinion that they have plenty of time to turn this around. If they can, Elizabeth Williams is not scheduled to be out all year, but she can come back.
They missed Elizabeth Williams in that lineup. They miss Elizabeth Williams in that rotation.
Yeah, well, she was a powerful contributor in the early games that they won, and I think they need to refocus their efforts to figure out how they can do what they can do. When you look at these individual records, you have Angel Reese and Camila Cardozo both recorded double doubles in that game in Indiana, and so you've got a bit of raw talent there that needs to really be able to develop, and I think they need to just play smarter out there.
Yeah.
They're much smarter, and God Almighty, yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be fairly embarrassing.
Yeah. They're heading for a long season if they don't solve this losing streak. Dallas comes into Chicago on Thursday. A couple of breaking news points, thanks to Droid in the back for us. Expansions for the PWHL not until 2026. And I can understand why. They just had an incredible first season. They want to build. They want to build on that, and just let them play.
Let me remind you, though, what it takes for an expansion franchise. Let me take it takes A, sponsorship, B, creating that management team, creating the excitement in the city where there's going to be that expansion. There's a year's worth of work in there, Brian. There is. Yep, I actually, somebody had emailed me off camera about that a while ago, with regard to the expansion in the WNBA. I don't see any reason why the Valkyries have to wait until 2026 to play. Well, here's the reason. You have to not just get your approvals for the franchise and put up all that money. You've got to build that excitement and figure out different revenue streams and different TV streams, to make all that money that's necessary. You've got to have a draft. You've got to figure out which team, which people you're going to have, if the draft works another way, what are the teams willing to give up for your special draft?
Absolutely.
You have to do all that. And so that is a year-long process at minimal. Then you've got to get you've got to build the excitement throughout the PWHL to get tickets bought and venue, all those things.
Everything. It's a year. You just said it, Allison. It's a years. Note the plural. Years long process. That's why the WNBA is headed for expansion. They've already got Toronto on the radar. Targets include Kansas City, Memphis, and Miami. And I would love to see a WNBA team in Kansas City to honor the old Kansas City Kings.
I would too.
Right. Memphis and Miami, they can wait a little bit because they have to regenerate the success for the Miami Heat and also the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay. And remember, it started in Vancouver. So they may go across the border. Something may change with those selection cities, and they may go across the border depending on how Toronto performs. But because Toronto's already on the radar, Golden State is ready to go. Golden State, they got $1 billion place in the Chase Center, which I hope to be there for the All-Star Game 2025. And I'm
coming with you. I'm coming with you.
I'm bringing a lot of people with me when
I'll call that game with you
for 2025 for the All-Star Game in the Bay Area. But it's like it's a
stay with my brother.
Yep, a years long process. It's a years long process. But what if they could? Joy just said in the back, Montreal or Vancouver could be a landing spot because they're appreciating more basketball north of the border. They are really appreciating basketball north of the border. Vancouver, I think the Vancouver Grizzlies moved too quickly, and this is how we'll close up shop. I think the Vancouver Grizzlies moved too quickly from Vancouver because they were just at the point where they were starting to generate some buzz. They already had the sellout for the what was at the time the General Motors place. They already had the sellout, and they were about to gain the extra revenue, and then it cratered. And I hated seeing that. I absolutely hated seeing that. And we got to bug out. But Allison, my dearest, thank you so much for coming on. We love you. And Jody loves you. She appreciates you. Women's sports and fans of women's sports, myself included, we all appreciate you. And folks, you can see every part of this interview every Tuesday live here on the show. You can catch the replay of The Token Female on the Snowman in the Morning YouTube page, youtube.com/@Snowman Multimedia. Thank you, my dear, very much. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Have a good week.
Did y'all have fun today?
Yeah, that was definitely worth it.
It was worth it. Droid, we apologize. We didn't get a chance to get to all of your breaking news points, but I love having Droid in the back feeding us points as we go, because it really helps to stabilize things. So we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Game 5 tonight. The Florida Panthers look to clinch the Stanley Cup, and I think I'm going to strap on the headset and make the call. I will decide later. All right?
You and Droid going to be busy this afternoon, huh?
It seems that way. We're all going to be busy. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. And I got a new set to premiere tomorrow. So long, everybody. And of course, tomorrow, out.
LeBron
and of course, tomorrow we have this. Good gracious. God.
Hey, LeBron fans, neener. Come get us.
Oh, God.
We're out of here. See you later.